Hi, it's Jory and today I'm going to be watching The Witcher Season 3, Episode 3, Reunion, which I'm hoping would mean a reunion between Yennefer and Ciri and Geralt, but I'm having a feeling will probably mean with Cahir and potentially some other reunions along the way too. I'm adoring this season so far. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go.
He's hiding something, and if I'm going to help Geralt, I need to find out what that is.
Okay, good.
Because Geralt...
I'm glad you're not fully trusting him.
Radovid is different.
He is, but we still shouldn't fully trust him.
He tries to hide it, but he's...
You may fancy him.
insightful.
Don't let that sway things.
Never have I ever seen you have a crush.
A crush? Oh, you think I have crushes?
I do.
I did find something else, though.
Yes, a very, very disturbed girl.
Her.
And she is?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I'm Yaskia.
What have they done to this girl? As I think
Right.
she's
She
just
was
been
part of an
broken.
experiment.
I love this season. They were like, we heard the cries for more Yaskia. We will deliver.
Werewolf.
Whoa! What are you?
Was hired by the villagers to kill me. He found me a cure instead. Kept close to my chest.
Ooh.
He keeps me safe. Almost got himself killed in the process, but
Why are we learning about
saved
this?
my life.
Just another sign of how wonderful Geralt is, because yes, here for it.
I was there for Fasana.
She's dead.
Is that his mother?
She talked about you a lot at the end.
Geralt.
It's a mind control enchantment.
Okay.
Control.
Like even some ancient elven sorcery in the spell.
Who is
Well,
the
that's
person
another
behind all
part
this?
elven.
Is it Vilgefortz?
Maybe a couple of generations removed, but still. If it works, she'll be able to tell us who did the stir.
And what they want with Ciri.
We are possibly taking Ciri straight to them if it's Vilgefortz.
Get into any trouble. Hold this tight and recite the chant. But don't get into any trouble.
Yes. I love them.
As your most senior advisor, I cannot stress enough.
You stress too much.
The only reason you have any power here, Sigismund, is because of me.
Get that?
The only reason you're alive is because of him.
Queen Hedwig has been in such a useful mood of late. Perhaps it's time to make her useful.
She knows he's listening.
Or should I do it?
The whispers of a dozen bounties on Cyrilla of Sintra, when last everyone knew she was killed in the slaughter.
Yep.
Focused on terrorizing an orphan that they can't see an empire waiting to destroy them.
Oof.
Then lecture me on Northern Unity. What mess are you going to leave us with this time,
She's trying to
have
see
been
if she
nice.
can trust you.
And I'm sorry.
Yennefer has
When I tried
grown
to
a
kill
lot.
myself, Arethusa.
She's extraordinary. She's the rightful heir to Sintra, and a great deal more, so I'm told. If war is coming, there is no hiding her from it.
Then maybe she can lead us out of it.
Yes, then we need to at least hide her for as long as we can and prepare for as long as we can.
She deserves control of her destiny.
One mother to another.
Please.
After all your searching, you actually did it.
Did what?
Became a mother.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Legend has it they take fallen novices to their caves below the tower and turn them into eels.
They do.
And why would you assume that?
Because it went to Arethusa, by order of the Emperor himself.
Interesting.
Stirred.
To Arethusa by order of the Emperor. Someone in Arethusa is working with Nilfgaard. Istrid is just doing his own little thing. Trying to stop another great conjunction, I suppose, but...
Because her choices are in defiance of your orders, sir. She's not fighting to soften the North. She's searching for a girl.
Okay, it's like, I know nothing of this and what it means to
I'd
you.
like you to stay a while if you would.
I'm having dreams about her. She
Creepy.
wants me to find her.
You tried that
She really
once.
does not.
Are you ready to come home, Cahir?
I believe he is. Strange zealots. I just want to know what it is about this man that has them so deeply beholden.
It's okay, Askia. What did Dijkstra want you to do?
He knows.
He wanted me
I'm glad we're talking about this.
to convince you to take Ciri to Redania. And I agree with him.
I'm glad we're talking about
She'll be
this.
safe with an...
I thought that by taking her off the board, the world would stop trying to use her. Instead, they're just trying to use others in her place.
And they will continue to. But she's not a witch yet. She's certainly not an Arethusan witch, sourcing magic out
Just a
of
bit of both.
stones or...
You knew him.
At school. At Arethusa.
That's the girl that went missing from Arethusa! Of course! Oop.
Stupid Witcher. You're doomed. And
Oh,
you don't
God.
even know it.
What have they done to this girl?
Cirilla's destiny. The destroyer of nations is upon us.
Oh no, it broke the pendant! What did they do to this baby? This poor guy. I'm thinking Vilgefortz. Stugabor. Vilgefortz Stugabor, my brain, could also be a candidate. But the woman with the funny voice? Why is she eyeing Ciri up?
Sounds like a challenge.
Staying unnoticed, please. I don't trust anybody new.
Its breath alone could poison you.
It's not a basilisk.
Ciri. Keeping a low profile, but it's not.
No, you're all wrong. This is a wyvern, and it's young, and it's starving, because you're keeping it in this cage.
Listen to Ciri. Well, that's your own fault, sir. You tried to hit a girl. Ooh, it's free now. Ooh, Ciri. Low profile isn't exactly what we're up to here, but I'm still supporting you, sweetheart. Ooh, well done, banker boy.
Protection of Jan Cardi Bank.
Where's my knife?
Did she take the knife? I don't trust that girl. Who is she?
Get off of her, devil dog!
You saved me, brave knight. We have a hero in our midst.
Yep, give him the.
Saved us all.
I did?
Yep, give him all the attention.
Kick ass for this whole fucking
Where's my money?
Hey, Trouble! You were great in there.
I don't trust this lady. I gotta hide, sweetheart.
Where are you, Yennefer?
Don't you dare take your eyes off me.
Ooh.
That's enough for introductions.
What did you
As
do?
an apology for her impudence.
Fucking a witch.
Atrocious, isn't it? Almost as atrocious as your manners. Perhaps instead of dwelling on the past.
Cintran princess. What's so special about her anyway?
Keep breathing, pouring the wine.
No.
Get it yourself.
I mean, you don't have to treat people like that.
What's wrong with you? Fuck off before you spoil everything. I can't spoil something that's already rotten.
Explain it to her,
These women
Jan.
is horrible. I don't want to do this either. Tomorrow I'll be expected to go crawling back to the Brotherhood, tail between my legs, begging for forgiveness.
Honesty is
I'll
good
do it.
here.
To be safe. Sometimes you have to go along to get along. To what end? If I can't learn to control my powers, will you let Tisea turn me into an eel? And if I do become... Tisea is one of the most powerful sorceresses on this continent.
She
You should
is.
be grateful that she's willing to teach you.
She's also scared of everything that's happening here.
Just because she's safe.
And a princess who's very entitled.
does not mean you owe her the rest of your life.
She's not wrong.
You told me to never apologize for my power, and yet that's all you seem to do.
She's not
You
wrong.
want to be a great leader? Well, guess what? The day-to-day of leading is dealing with a lot of vapid, power-hungry assholes.
It's going great.
This is the version of myself I have to be here. So you need to find a version of yourself that can deal with that.
Trust me, I know you're not Geralt.
We should have discussed this
You would
before we
never sell
got
your soul
here.
like this.
Oof. Ciri is a girl who's been through an extreme amount of stuff. Who was raised a princess to want for nothing and never be asked to do anything. And also, there's no reason to treat novices, you know, like, fetch me this, fetch me that. Maybe they need to help out. Maybe they can like earn their way up. But you just gotta be polite to them. It's Ciri and Yen.
I never wanted her to hurt.
Just wanted
Just
her to be a
wanted her to know
mother.
what she did.
Doesn't mean
To save you, she had to let you go.
she's fucking lucky he survived that
can't have been the
horrific
only choice.
process.
It wasn't. Where are you going?
Aretuza?
Aretuza.
Good.
Even if I can curry enough favor to get back into the Brotherhood's fold and get her trained, you're right. War is coming and she's at the center of it.
Mages have kept kings in check for centuries. We'll find a way.
I don't think
Felicity's
entering
infectious.
Aretuza is the best bet. Just training her
Kings
somewhere
have turned
nearby.
against each other. How long before mages follow suit? If
Oh,
we
they
want
already
to
have.
unite the North, do differently this time. Instead of discord and debate, we focus on trust, togetherness.
I don't think this will work because too many people have their own motivations and aims, but I love Yennefer for this so dearly. And I support
This was
this.
the girl's doing.
Being a parent can
I'm
make you a
willing to
better
try.
version of yourself. I'll talk to Ciri about this. She really should have talked to Ciri about what it was going to be like when they got to Aretuza a while ago. Where are you going, child?
Geralt, where are you?
I know you're feeling lost and alone and you want him, but he's coming.
We'll meet again soon.
I understand your concerns. Courtesy of Nilfgaard, see? I told you, Dijkstra, they're not so bad.
Fucking hell. That's so the brother did that. Radovich or whatever.
Tell the gatekeeper to scout the perimeter and bring
He did this. Maybe they did this, but it was one of them.
I will not let them get away with this.
Yeah, that's how you get him on board to go for a war against Nilfgaard and ready for a new wife. Because you'd have to be an idiot to think Nilfgaard would arrange the deal they just did and then do this. Yep. So it was him?
You.
Yeah, it wasn't him then. Okay.
Well, the trusts. He trusts
This is the reality of evil politics.
now more than ever. Next time it could be your head in a box.
Yeah, don't play the game if you're not made for it. Though this is not a normal version of the game. This is the evil Dijkstra way.
I've seen your portals. This wasn't that.
Like the one you went through when you went after the fireman.
Black vortex.
Told me you didn't work for Nilfgaard.
I don't. I work for my lord.
Who works for fucking
So yeah, this is fake, isn't it?
Don't get so agitated.
It would be wise to consider an escape plan.
Yes, I do think so. Child murderer.
His death.
Fuck the usurper. He was an idiot.
That's what the White Flame said to me when he came to free me.
Mm-hmm.
The usurper was a fool to let you go, son. Because you are the strongest of them all.
I suppose you're strong for a scrawny little...
Jesus. Look, Cahir, like I'm on it. So if Cahir ever starts to open up to you, start running for the hills. This season is so interesting. I truly can't place the motives of most of the characters, like with where they're going next. Why did you do that? 7 years bad luck, sir. Ciri being alone is silly. So that the mage is following her? Ciri, you had a fight with Yennefer, you didn't need to run. Or is this something else? That looks a bit like the Wild Hunt or whatever. Why did you go off alone? There he is. There he is. Was the one with the like thingy-majiggy-jigs on his face the guy from the prequel who went through the portal in time or through the monolith or whatever to that place? And then similarly, is the big bad mage gonna be the mage who went through the monolith in the prequel? He was like a pathetic-ish mage then, or not that powerful, but he may have gained power. So they made it through to hunt after Ciri. No.
You found me.
Yes, he did, and he's very happy about it. But why on earth were you on your own? That's what he's thinking.
They were real.
They crossed over, that's for sure. I will say I'm really struggling with like figuring out a lot of motivations behind characters and what they're doing and where they're going, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I just, where are they going? I need to know, and it keeps just, you know, each episode ends, and I find that really offensive. I didn't love the fight between Yennefer and Ciri, not in the sense that I think it was bad, just more in the sense that I feel like Yennefer, they had plenty of time for Yennefer to have given her a little bit more of a heads up on like what it was going to be like when they got to Aretuza. That it was gonna, that the idea was that she was going to go in as a novice, which I still don't necessarily think was the best bet, but she was going to go in as a novice and that she'd be treated, you know, novices are treated like shit, and that's what you have to expect. And like, was the idea that she would be like, hi, I'm Princess Cyrilla of Cintra and I'm a novice here, or was the idea that like, hi, I'm Fiona and I'm a novice here? You know, I think that was the name she used to give. But regardless, like a bit more of a heads up on what it was like and on kind of the way you have to be. You know, the Yennefer who struts around being a mage of Aretuza is very different from the Yennefer you know if you spend one-on-one time with her. But I think that's true of a lot of places. That's true of being at a court, and you can kind of think, well, if I was to be queen, I would have a different court. I wouldn't put up with any of this nonsense. But you'd have to be aware constantly that there were people around you who were playing the game and who were doing that kind of nonsense, even if it wasn't the way you yourself ruled. You know, even if she's not aware of it because she was a child, Cintra would have been rife with people scheming and doing things like that. So that conversation they had as an argument could so easily have been had as a conversation between them. Ciri running off by herself, what on earth was she doing? Like, I know she's young, I know she's been through a lot, but child, what were you doing? It's one thing to be furious with Yennefer or to not agree with Yennefer or not agree with what you're doing there, but you know how dangerous it is out there for you and for everyone, like, for other people. You're almost powerful enough to deal with everything by yourself, but you were not yet. And I understand so completely just wanting to get back to Geralt. He makes her feel completely safe. She trusts him 100%. But, like, my girl, what were you thinking? Riding off by yourself. I know the kind of, she heard him like, we'll be together soon, so she probably had a sense that he was on his way, which we know he was. Now initially I was assuming when the clouds were following her, I thought it was mages coming after her. I thought that they must be somewhat used to like runaways, and kind of like the woman that like hit her and was like, novices that escape. Why would you just assume a girl running through the streets had to be an escaped novice? But I thought that was who was coming after her, and as they became horses, I was like, oh, that's the Wild Hunt. Now, I did react to the prequel series. I enjoyed it. It was good. It wasn't as good as The Witcher, but it was fun. And one of the dude got sent to the like place where the Wild Hunter, and he had like a funny, like there were like bones. I think that's him. And then it occurred to me because of that I meant to like remember, and I forgot that the mage dude there was like the little dude who was a mage who went through the monolith, and then we saw him staring at Ciri in Cintra. So I'm now thinking that maybe not Vilgefortz, maybe that guy is in fact the mage that is after everything. Possibly that even is Vilgefortz, and he just changed his appearance. So I don't entirely know why, because it's not like anyone would know who he was. But I suppose if you've been alive for a very long time, maybe people would wonder who you were. I don't know. Many more ideas, many more thoughts. So I'm not entirely like, the whole thing with going to Aretuza just felt weird to me. It kind of jarred me a bit, and that could simply be just because it wasn't what I was expecting to happen. I feel like Yennefer would have given Ciri a little bit more of a heads up of just what they were expecting in going to Aretuza. Well, because even if she was an ordinary novice, she'd have been given some kind of expectation of what she was doing. And, you know, yes, Ciri does need to understand that, you know, sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. And obviously she is a princess, and we've seen that time and time again, that she isn't 100% used to being an ordinary person and living life, but she's got a lot better at it. And, you know, I'm not being critical of her particularly, because it's how she was freaking raised to be a princess. And it doesn't really excuse treating people like shit just because they're a novice. You can ask them nicely to get you wine. It was just kind of, I think, obviously none of it happened quite the way Yennefer had anticipated. I don't think she had planned on Ciri being brought in when there were other people around who would wonder who she was. And I feel like she suggested the trip to the bath as kind of a peace offering and as a way to like throw them off the scent of Ciri and kind of put them just more at ease. And so that's why she was kind of acting that way. I feel like it was kind of trying to just smooth things over and act like everything was normal and fine so that nobody would think it wasn't normal and fine. And she was hoping to kind of, I don't know, like, I know we said we were going to Aretuza, but I didn't think initially that it was going to be so Ciri would just become a novice and train like normal. I sort of thought she'd be like there like secretly and like having like secret lessons. Obviously Geralt knows that the mage behind what happened to Taryn, which was the girl that went missing with the blood, should have put two and two together, didn't. Quite cross with myself on that one. Today is clearly not my most switched on like predicting brain day. They were doing something to try and make her truly believe she was Ciri. She did have elven blood. She did have magic. Were they going to try and use her as an imposter? Was that somebody who wanted to try and suck up to Emir and be like, I found your daughter, and he wouldn't be able to tell the difference? Or what other purpose did they have? It's all very, very interesting. The Fire guy is working for Nilfgaard, but then she keeps claiming that it's not Nilfgaard itself, it's a lord. It's all just, there's so many different strands here, and I don't know where any of it's going. The stuff that interests me the least at the moment is the stuff in Redania. I'm sure it's going somewhere that is relevant to the plot, and I'm not like not enjoying it, but it's kind of when those scenes come up, I'm kind of like, so this isn't going to have Yennefer or Ciri or Geralt, and it isn't going to tie into them in any obvious way right now. I was glad that Jaskier finally kind of, I mean, he wasn't really keeping it a secret, but I was glad that he just told Geralt about what the Redanians wanted and that he agreed with them, because I wasn't liking the idea of him like secretly doing stuff, so I'm glad that it's just all out in the open and they can disagree or agree however they want. And I think the big difference is, yes, Ciri says like, if I'm queen one day, Ciri ultimately would like to reclaim her throne, I believe, and she would like to make things better for everybody, but one, can't do that, and two, doesn't want to just be some king's wife that has zero political power and isn't able to help anybody and is just at the mercy of whatever, you know, the king above her says. She wants to be queen in her own right in the same way her grandmother was. So she would never be happy as just someone's wife. Again, like, no one should have to do that. No one should be in that position, but it's the last thing Geralt's going to want for her either. I do think Geralt is starting to reach the point where, yes, he needs to do everything he can to keep Ciri safe, and I do still think we should try and keep her as safe and hidden as possible and keep training her, because she has come so far in her training, but she still has so far yet to go in her training. But ultimately, she can't stay on the sidelines for forever. She's going to want to, whether she's going to need to make a choice, but she's going to want to make a choice. She's going to want to make decisions for herself and lead this fight, and the best you can do in that is get her as prepared as possible and have her back and support her. And I think Geralt is starting to kind of realize that as much as you want to keep your kids safe and protect them and hide them from everything, that isn't the reality of the world they live in. It was sad to hear his mother had died, almost sad in a way with the fact that how little he actually knew her. Yeah, just so many random, like, not in a bad way, but things you're like, what, I wasn't expecting that. I really don't know where this season is going, and I'm freaking stressed about it. I don't know what Cahir's plan is. Obviously, he killed Robbie Amell, like Galandrin, and he was the one that presented him to the Emir. So is he gonna be like, yes, I killed him because he was disloyal, or is he gonna be like, well, somebody killed him, how terrible, guess you still need me? Like, I don't quite know what his game was there. Like, it's just very, very interesting. But definitely, if Cahir starts opening up to you about his childhood, just start running, because he's going to murder you. I definitely feel like I've missed important things that I wanted to talk about, but I cannot think of any of them right now. We're right in the middle of the story, and I just want to get to the end, and obviously we're not going to do that today, because there's only 2 episodes left, and there are 3 more to come after that. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.